Good morning, everyone. So in today's episode, we're going to cover two big topics. First of all, I'm going to share my practice routine, the workout that I'm doing today. It's a controlled workout called adding the left foot. It's about, actually, we are working on our double base endurance and also on our control with the left foot. Double base endurance with the right foot and control with the left foot. And the second big topic is a comment that I got on YouTube from a frustrated drummer who is stuck at 140 beats per minute. He's struggling with the ankle technique, so I'm going to give some advice right here, what worked for me, and basically what we do at the Drum Technique Academy lesson and coaching program as well. So let's first start with the workout for today. This past couple of days, I really pushed my tempo, actually up to 250 one time, and also triplets or 16-note triplets up to 180, and for a short period of time, 190 beats per minute. So pretty fast. 180 beats per minute, 16-note triplets, double bass, that's 270, 60 notes, so that's quite fast already. And today's workout, I want to focus more on control. And actually, I was a bit struggling with my right foot when it comes to endurance. So there's one workout that I really like to do. We like to call this the adding the left foot workout in our Drum Technique Mastery program. Really simple, basic exercise. So let me demonstrate that one first. So this one was demonstrated at 180 beats per minute, and what it is, really simple, eighth notes for 2 bars straight with the right foot, and then for another 2 bars, you add in the left foot to play double bass, 60 notes at 180 beats per minute. Then later on, I also like to mix this up, especially when I feel confident and comfortable with the tempo. I'm shortening the length of where I'm just playing eighth notes and then double bass. So then I shorten this one to just 1 bar of eighth notes and then 1 bar of 60-note double bass. Sounds like this. The interesting thing about the ankle technique is actually the first part where I'm playing for long periods of time with my right foot, then just adding in the left foot again for long periods of time. That's easier than later on in comparison when you are shortening that one. So when you're just playing for a short period of time, maybe like just 1 bar of eighth notes and then adding in the left foot. The reason for that is you have to get into the ready position, so you have to raise your heels. There's some pre-tension there that you need before you can start playing tight double bass or with your single foot. And that's why it's actually not that easy, or it's easier if you just play for long periods of time, because then the pedal is doing most of the work for you. You can relax. Once you got the technique down, that's easy. So for today's workout, really simple. We're going to play at 5 different tempos, starting at 160, then 170, 180, 190, and 200 beats per minute, 4 minutes each. So that's a 20-minute workout routine. Cool thing, actually, my right foot is going to play for 20 minutes non-stop, almost. Only when I have to take a break and talk to you guys, and when I'm changing the tempo on the metronome. Rest of the time, it just keeps on running. And the left foot has to focus on control all the time. So again, short 20-minute workout routine. If you want to play that tight, then you have to be really focused. So let's start with the workout at 160 beats per minute. Okay, now the same exercise at 170 beats per minute. Again, just moving my foot a tiny bit further to the front of the footboard. At first, I'm gonna play a 2-bar phrase, again with the right foot, and then adding in the left one, and then I'm gonna just switch to the 1-bar phrase. 1 bar of eighth notes and then 1 bar of 60 notes. Let's do this. So 170 felt good, and actually that's one of the funny things once again about the ankle technique. At 160 BPM, actually I have to focus more to make sure that I'm staying with the click and I'm playing tight. At 170, again, that's like perfectly in sync with this pedal, 170 and 180, so that's way easier. So now let's continue to 180 beats per minute for another 4 minutes. Until now at 160, 170 and 180, I wasn't really focusing on my right foot that's just locked in with the hands perfectly fine, and I'm just focusing on my left foot to start and stop in time. At 190 beats per minute, since this is again a 4-minute non-stop exercise, actually I'm also trying to relax as much as possible with my right foot, relax the muscle groups in my upper leg, and I'm trying my best to let the pedals take over completely. 4 minutes straight at 190 BPM non-stop with my right foot leading foot. Of course it's possible, but I want to try my best to use as little energy as possible. The reason is, if I'm coming back tomorrow and I'm going to practice again, I don't want to be exhausted. I want to work on my technique, on my tightness, but I don't want to push it too far, so I have to take a break again. So now here's the exercise at 190 beats per minute. Alright, now on to 200 beats per minute. The technique basically stays the same. Just gonna move my foot a bit further to the front of the footboard and that's it. So 200 BPM sounds something like this. So, done with this 20-minute exercise. Again, only focusing on endurance with the right foot, relaxing as much as possible, and control with the left foot. I think it's important to mention that you don't really have to push your limits every single day or at every single practice session. If you think about different sports, like for example powerlifting, powerlifter is not going to go for his personal record, his PR with deadlifts every single time he enters the gym. Same for drumming. You want to develop a feel for your pedals. Comes to double bass drumming, you want to play it as tight as possible and improve, but you don't want to go for your max every single time. So this was a solid workout today. I'm happy with that one. And now, just as promised in the beginning, I got this one comment of this one drummer who's stuck at 140 for quite a long time. We're going to add the comment here or here somewhere so you can read that one. He sounds really frustrated, so I wanted to talk a bit about that topic right here. Okay, so first of all, thank you for your comment, and here's my feedback. When you are starting to learn the ankle technique, then at first you just basically need 2 different exercises. One is an exercise on the floor. At the Drum Tech Academy we call this the motion development exercise. And the second one is the bounce workout, where you practice without bass drum or without bass drum pad, just getting used to the beta swing. And actually I've already recorded a YouTube tutorial about this, so we're gonna add the link to this tutorial here or here on the screen. And basically you have mentioned 2 things that you're currently struggling with. First one is that the beta most of the time is not even touching the bass drum head. So we're going to talk a bit about pedal settings. And the second one is that you don't get a consistent beta swing. First of all, actually, let's start with the consistent beta swing. Getting to the point where you can consistently move your betas back and forth without interruption, getting that same beta swing all the time. That's vitally important to get the ankle technique to work. If you don't get this down, then it's not gonna work out. So the main exercise to solve this is the bounce workout, where you remove the bass drum or the bass drum pad and just focus on swinging the beta back and forth consistently. So this is step number 1, and we got the tutorial for that one already. And step number 2, since you also mentioned that the beta is not hitting the bass drum head all of the time, there are 2 things that you have to keep in mind right here. First of all, pedal settings. It is possible that your spring tension is too high, number 1. And number 2, that the beta angle is too extreme. So to start out right now, actually, I would recommend to just focus on the bounce workout, use a 45-degree beta angle and a low spring tension at first. And one other thing that's also really important, so if you place your foot around the middle of the footboard or even just a little bit further back, then the pedal will do more of the work for you. And once you get this beta swing going, the pedal will actually assist you in this up and down motion. And it will be easier to keep this back and forth motion going. So that's the foot position I would recommend right here. And the final thing that you have to keep in mind, since you mentioned that most of the time the bass drum beta is not even hitting the bass drum head. When you are done with the bounce workout and you add your bass drum again or your practice pad, as soon as the beta starts to hit the bass drum head, basically this constant beta swing that you first practice with the bounce workout gets interrupted. So actually it takes some time to get used to this interruption. So again, at first, master the bounce workout, practice without bass drum, Then it's time to add the bass drum again. Yes, this interruption of the beta swing, it will take some time to get used to that one as well. And to end this video, what I want to say is, after reading that comment, you can really hear the frustration in his voice when he was typing that comment. And let me tell you, I've been there too. I struggled for more than 3 years with just like getting from, I wasn't even at 140, I was stuck at 130 beats per minute for such a long time until I got this down with just using my calves, working on the ankle technique. So be patient, you are not alone, and you got this. Just follow these simple exercises. You don't need 10 or 20 different exercises. You don't need the most expensive double bass pedal. Just follow these 2 exercises. Give this 2 or 3 weeks. Just practice those. If you are really frustrated, I don't really want you to sit behind the kit trying to push from 140 to maybe 142 or 145 BPM, getting even more frustrated because you're constantly gonna fail. Just see this as a small little adventure. Focus on these 2 exercises. And what I can tell you from our blueprint at the Drum Technique Mastery Program, it's this. Once you got the motion development exercise down on the floor, then the bounce workout with the pedals but without bass drum. Next step is to just work on each foot separately at first with the bass drum. Again, you have to get used to this, the beta hitting the bass drum head and this interruption. And then after that, it's time to combine both feet for double bass workouts and adding the left foot workout. And after that, you can also start to focus on speed. This is basically the blueprint that we use in our Drum Technique Mastery Program. So if you also struggle with double bass drumming, then comment below, tell us about what's holding you back at the moment, and maybe we will pick your comment and your frustration in one of our future videos. I wish you an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers from Vienna. Bye bye.